What is the hardest challenge in old school RuneScape? Is it no Pillar Inferno? No. Is it solo TOB? No. Is it no prayer 6 Jads? Absolutely not. None of these challenges even come close to the pain and difficulty of resetting this stupid monkey room over and over. That's right, guys. Today we are finally tackling the 500 invocation TOA to get ourselves the FANG ornament kit. Now, jokes aside, this is a pretty difficult challenge. It's certainly one of the hardest that is not just self-imposed, but actually has a material reward being this beautiful FANG kit. So let's jump in. I'll show you guys the gear and invocations I use and go over what makes every room so unique and difficult. Now, here is the gear setup. It's very strange looking, but the idea is to have the best mage setup you possibly can, as the shadow is ludicrously powerful for 500s, and the other two styles are honestly secondary. The other massive thing you'll notice is that I don't have any brews or food. You cannot heal in 500s unless you get a Blood Fury proc or use the Sun Kiris special. So, the inventory is just chock full of restores. They essentially become your brews, as the Sun Kiris spec takes 50 prayer points but heals you up completely. Now, a quick look at the invocations. Maybe not the easiest setup for baby's first 500, but I opted for Double Trouble because I thought it was really interesting and one of the few mechanics that felt rewarding to learn, but we're gonna get into that soon. Because of that, I don't have overly draining, and past that, it's pretty much all the boss mechanics besides a select few. And as always, a huge shout out to the sponsor of today's video, which is Raycon. Now, I'm sure you've heard of Raycon, but if you haven't, Raycon makes super high quality, affordable wireless earbuds. Now, I've been using the pair that they sent me religiously, and they're going to be offering really good deals for the holidays with 30% off their holiday bundles. So if you struggle with giving gifts like I do, then hint, hint. Now, their wireless earbuds, headphones, and speakers offer not only really good sound quality, but a heap of useful features. They have a comfortable, adjustable fit and up to 54 hours of battery life, which I can tell you from experience is a lot. As I said, I have been using these a lot since I got them, and I've just been getting back into the gym, right? Lord knows I need my music when I lift. I actually forgot these the other day when I went to the gym, so I just went home instead. Now, my favorite part about these is probably the design, right? They're not dangly or loose, they fit really snugly in your ear, and they have a super sleek profile. So it's perfect if you're doing something active or if you're just walking around your house, doing some dishes, whatever. So click the link in the description or go to buyraycon.com/tasty and use code EARLYBF to get 20% off site-wide. Or save even bigger and get 30% through Raycon's holiday bundles. There will also be different deals coming throughout the season, and I'll try to keep the description updated with offers, but you can always go to buyraycon.com/tasty and get the best deals on Raycon. Thank you. Back to the video. Now, the first boss on the roster is Akkha, and due to the nature of TOA, practicing is actually super easy. You can do any room first and turn off the death invocations for free, unlimited practice. It honestly makes me sick, but I'm gonna abuse it anyway. And that's a good thing too, because Akkha is by far the most difficult boss. The first major mechanic we're going to need to learn is the butterfly. Now, this was discovered by some guy on Twitter who then got banned for real world trade or something. Sit the fuck down. Essentially, you run in circles around Akkha so he never hits you, and you blast his ass with a shadow. Am I not going the right way? Oh, we go clockwise. I literally didn't read. Don't look at me. Don't look at me. I didn't read. We're fine. This is a tick perfect method. You cannot mess up. However, once you learn it, it's fairly easy. Just getting the hang of the rhythm takes a bit. Oh, that's not good. Okay. Now, once we got settled in, it was only a matter of time before the next mechanic, and probably the hardest, comes into play: Double Trouble. You see, this invocation stacked with Feeling Special gives an absolute hell of a mechanic to deal with. Not only is the memory puzzle super fast, but you also have double the exploding orbs left on the last tile you were on, as well as right in front of where you land. The amount of balls you are surrounded by would make Sasha Grey blush. This requires perfect planning for each and every tile you step on, and the pressure mounts quickly. I died here a lot. I literally cannot. I'm not even looking at this. Why am I not looking at this? Oh, wow, that was a tick late. No, man. Now, after spending a few hours tackling this boss in practice, I did the unthinkable. I made it to the final phase. Have you guys ever seen a Japanese bukkake? There's white stuff everywhere and it's pixelated as fuck. That's this RuneScape boss in a nutshell. It's pure patience, fancy footwork. Everybody hates it. I think you're all cowards. I did die here, though. I did die. I spent another hour or so tackling this boss, and at the eve of my first stream in this content, I finally felled the great Akkha. Go check out my stream, by the way, if you would like to go to heaven, twitch.tv/TastyLife. If you don't go follow, you're gonna go to hell. Give me your prime. Thank you. The next boss is everybody's favorite, Baba. The boss, honestly, it's boring. You see, for the 500 invocation run, he simply hits too hard through prayer. You cannot afford that kind of supply drain, so what do? Well, you do exactly what Jagex intended. You abuse niche mechanics that break the programming of the encounter. That's right, everybody's favorite Red X. Now, there's a lot I could say about this fight. I could talk about how the content scales so poorly at higher invocations that we have to find ways to not do the fight, but that's for another time. Whoa, slow down there, cowboy. Wouldn't you like to know what a Red X is? You might already, but if you don't, please take a seat. You see, there are two types of clicks in old school RuneScape. If you click somewhere to move, you get a pretty little yellow click, and if you click somewhere to interact with something, that's where we get our fabled Red X. Now that Red X right there has a unique mechanic attached to it. When you click something with a Red X, any monster targeting you will stop moving. Now this is actually intentional, and I forget the reason why they did this, but who cares? That's for upper division RuneScape classes, and you are still a freshman, buddy. Anyway, we abuse this red click to walk underneath Baba. Now, if you stay under Baba for a certain amount of time, he defaults into his little smash attack, and that overrides everything else. And since you've red clicked, he cannot move out from on top of you. So, you stay under long enough to trigger that smash attack with a red X, then you come out, you poke him once, and you go back under. You do this over and over and over and over and over and over and over. It's super fun. I'm having fun. That's the gist of the fight. Boulders proceed as normal, and then you just set up the Red X at the top of the arena with a potion. Click harder. I actually think I click too hard. Like, I think I need to click softer, and you keep going. This fight only took me a little bit to get down. It's really just about the rhythm. Now, the next two bosses are significantly more boring. The bug boy Kephri is exactly the same as normal. You just have to flick a lot more, and it takes forever. Now, some skillful poop laying will help a tremendous amount, however, as trapping the meleeer minion with your first two walls saves so much damage that it's actually crazy. Now, since this fight does take forever, you have to be very careful with the placement of that poop. Right? If you get too cavalier with it, you run out of space quickly. All in all, there's not much to mention here. This took me like 1 or 2 tries, and I got it down pat. Okay. I'm not gonna lie, out of all the bosses, this one is the least fun. This one kind of fucking sucks. Now, for the crocodile, this one is easy until it isn't. I just camped my overheads and did my best to flick rigor to preserve as much supplies as possible. If you are insanely good, this is actually a 0 supply room. I am not, so I took a couple little sippies. Right now, if you get unlucky with how the paths level up, because remember, we are using Walk the Path, you can possibly get a level 4 croc, and this thing is a fucking machine gun. In my practice runs, I was safe, but as I got to the full runs, this began to be a problem. You'll see. This room, however, was a pretty easy one and done. Now I've officially bested each of the 4 rooms. It was time to start the real attempts, and every death here is a mean 500k. And while I felt decently comfortable with each room individually, the true challenge comes when you have to string together each of the 4 rooms without making a single mistake. This is much less about mechanical complexity compared to something like Solo TOB, which I completed in May. Come on. Yes, let's go, baby! Oh! And it's much more about sustained performance, accuracy, and consistency. There's no real guide for 500s, right? I kind of brought a mishmash of gear. There's no perfect path, and there are several invocation sets that you can play with. However, the order I decided on ultimately was Baba and Kephri first, then Zebak or Akkha, depending how the paths leveled up. And boy, when the full runs came, it was a struggle pretty quick. I don't even make, no, I do. I don't make that! I thought I made that. Okay. Oh, wow, that was a tick late. Like, do I just eat this? What is that? What is that, bro? That's so cringe, dude. That's actually so cringe, bro. Silly little mistakes were continually ending my runs, and the tilt was setting in quickly. It was just a terrible feeling knowing that I could do better, but still witnessing my own demise at a small misstep that was unrecoverable. By the end of the second day, I was feeling defeated. This boss is bad. But out of the ashes of despair, a flame arose. A run where everything came together. Every click was perfectly placed. Every spec perfectly executed. And for the first time, I defeated all 4 bosses. That's all 4, baby! The final challenge lay ahead, the wardens themselves. This is where the nerves really start to rack up. It was like my first time doing Zuck. The waves were almost certainly more difficult, but once you get to Zuck, you start shaking, and the thought of losing all of the hours you spent trudging through those waves is a terrible feeling. And this instance was no different. Things start off easy, right? You soak a few orbs at the very start to make sure you get the correct warden with Zebak and Baba for the final showdown. Then you run to the side, perhaps a lone, forgotten safe spot, where you staff from relative safety, pray for good DPS, and Kira spec after each set of orbs. A rocky start awaited me, however, as I forgot to sip my adrenaline before specking the first time. I steeled my nerves, adjusted for this, and kept clicking. The rest of the fight is exactly the same as any lower invocation, it just takes a hell of a lot longer. After 4 brutal cooldowns, the final phase awaited. I felt nothing at this point. My mind was clear. All I was doing was counting each smash. Right, left, center, right, left, center. The first skulls came out. I dispatched them quickly. Then the second set, once again, swiftly dealt with. I'm just kidding. I completely blanked on this one and stood in the wrong spot to start it, so GG. Thus, the end of our first Warden's attempt. And while I certainly wasn't happy with the ending, seeing it gave me the confidence I needed to continue this grind. But that didn't last long. I spent the next few hours dying repeatedly. I'm so tilted. Does that count? Was I take off on that? Oh, cringe, dude. So cringe. Okay, we take that. Oh, we don't take that, though. That's... Oh, I'm dead. What am I clicking on?
Are you having fun?
I'm having fun.
Are you having fun?
I'm having fun.
You having fun?
I'm having fun.
Are you having fun?
I'm having fun. I'm having fun. But I persevered. I have done many things harder in RuneScape. I've been tilted much more. The last thing I was going to do was give up. And finally, after a few hours of deaths, a run finally picked up. Almost no mistakes. The only blight was an unlucky level up. Zebak had reached level 4. Now this means not only was the fight longer and more arduous, but when he appeared during Wardens, he would fire at super speed. I put this in the back of my mind and I trekked onward. Again, we saw Wardens, and again, we were met with a rocky start. After taking 3 sets of orbs at the start due to abysmal DPS, I also saw my life flash before my eyes during phase 2. I misstepped against a lightning bomb and was smited, but I managed to get my prayer back right in time before too much damage had occurred to my person. Before long, we were teleported to the final arena, locked in a battle with our destiny. I was more than careful this time with the skull phases, and my prayers felt quick and accurate as Zebak popped up. I navigated phase 3 perfectly, taking 0 damage, and spawned the final enrage. Make it or break it. Click after agonizing click, its health whittled down, and ultimately I was left with 1 single row of tiles. After many hours of struggle, we did it. We completed the 500.
This place. Oh, I hate this place, dude. Oh, I hate this place.
Oh, you hit so good. I wasn't even looking at my XP drops, dude. I was not even looking at my XP drops. I cannot overstate how relieved I am to be done with this, dude. Do we see the light? Shocker, bro. Ooh, yeah, we have a Zebak kit. Nice. And the cursed phalanx. Check out this new toy. Ain't it cute? If you liked the video, like it, subscribe if you want some more tasty content, and thank you for watching.